Hello, hello, hello.
Hey there.
Hello, Yanis. How are you today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Ready to
It's
crush
Friday,
this
so
webinar.
yeah. Hey, everyone! In the Friday, it's lunchtime, so happy to see that you have joined it, or you can watch and record. This is something we see a lot of happening. So if you have any questions during the webinar, just drop the comment or write us a private message. We will try to answer to those. Today we have a exact plan to talk about how to get over 100,000 revenue in a month. We will not talk about some theoretical things. We will talk about like things we have done for our clients. So we will share it. We will we will we will show how we get there. I think that's really interesting. My name is Gustavs. Uh, I have built like seven-figure brands with my own hands and. For several years ago, we partnered with Yanis, and now we are starting to, and not starting, but now we are delivering the same for different brands, not one-on-one brands. So we have an e-commerce field for like 5+ year, and I think we have a lot of value to bring on the table. So Jans, maybe you can make small introduction about yourself, and we can jump on the presentation.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Yanis, and over the past 3 years, I've been running an e-commerce agency alongside Gustav's, where we have created systems and processes that basically are that have helped our clients generate millions in revenue. And this day's webinar, we're just gonna talk about this kind of case study where we helped one client get from point X to point Z and or Z to X. And yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, so Jan is like that. We make a small introduction and jump on the value. So let's jump on it. I'm happy that we can share some knowledge with uh, with the listeners. So let's start with the first one with the numbers. I think that's always what need to be shown. So this is the numbers. The one revenue is when we came in. The second revenue is like after some. Oh no, sorry. This was revenue year by year. Yeah.
Yeah, this was year by year, and that's where we actually, yeah, that's yeah, exactly, yeah,
Yeah, that's like so we can show what happened in the same month, year before and year after. Of course, there is some growth for every company, but it's like 10-15%. But still, this huge growth is something, we can show. Today, plan is go step by step process. We will show how we get there. We will show exact steps what has been done. And we will talk a little bit about how to not overspend on digital experts, how to understand when you are ready to hire somebody to start to work with some agencies. This is, I think, huge topic because there's so much bad experience in working with agencies, and this is something we are trying to hack with the Yanis every day. What is the perfect way when you need to start with agency work, and what is the steps you need to go by yourself? And this is huge thing. And of course, if you will have some questions, we will try to answer them on the live, or after that, we can do that too. Um, I think today the most important thing is to understand how you can get over those six figures, because I know there's a lot of brands which is doing those five figures, and that's not nothing huge right now in e-commerce field. But those six figures is a small dream for many companies, and I would say that we have seen a lot of stories uh, uh, that not only seen but grows a lot of case studies, and we'll try to put all this experience together today and share it. So if you have any other ideas what we need to share or what we need to tell, show in this webinars, drop us a comment too, because we will make one webinar a week, because we see that there is a lot of value in our side what we can deliver. And let's jump on the next slide, Yanis.
let's go, let's go.
Let's go. So the start, how we do that, Yanis? Well, what we did to make it happen?
Well, the first part is the on the client side actually, and our side as well. It's to work together to understand and identify the core problem and or benefit that the product is kind of solving and introducing or just helping the client to achieve the result that they want to. Better in general, easy terms is we come together and understand what is our client, what are our customers' needs, what are their goals, and we just create ads around that problem and show that benefit how our ads, how the product that we are selling or marketing is solving the problem.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing here, because when businesses is living in their own product life, yeah, they see only the features, yeah, and I think that's the main thing what we are doing with our clients. We are going after the benefits. We are going after the problems they are solving, and then we are talking about those problems, how to show those problems, and that's a huge thing. So yeah, I think in the last webinar last week we had this about how to make profitable ads, and there was one of the things where we showed how to get from benefits to features. So yeah, that's something you need to use this all this onboarding process, which is part of this first step to understand everything. If you want to do this on your own, go through the our last webinar and just go through those steps, and you will find a lot of problems and features, not features, sorry, benefits about what you need to talk. Or there is a third way: just talk with your customers and ask them why they have bought the product. This huge thing. We are doing a lot of review. We are reading a lot of reviews. We are doing a lot of research to understand what is the problem this product or business is solving to their customers. And I think the next
Exactly.
step, the second step was, yeah, so
You can just you can jump on the next slide, and it just shows the overall steps that we have taken. Um, yeah, can you
yeah,
click on the next slide?
yeah, but this is the the second step was create these ads which talk about those problems. So this was two step process, and right now we will go through the step by step process how this can be done. So there is a lot of information from the last webinar. Jump on that if you are interested more. But I think let's jump on this how we created the meta ads and how we created the system which generates like
Good converting ad.
like the system where you can get more and more customers, something like that. We love to like call it as a systems because when you talk like create ad, it's like it sounds really basic, but when we talk about this in the previous webinar, creating ads is not some a creative process. It's a process which you build from the bricks, and you understand what you need to change and what you need to upgrade. So today we will talk about the bricks, what should be done after the ads are created. What are those steps to make them work, make them make some money? Yep.
Exactly. So let's jump on to the next one. So yeah, this is an interesting screen that you actually see. We have actually developed this kind of system after spending hundreds of thousands in advertising, and we came to a conclusion that this is probably the best way on uh, how we can by doing this all of this these steps how we can come to an ad that is actually converting, and it all starts with the angle. Angle testing, then you test creatives, hooks, headlines, and then ad copies. And a lot of you probably see ad copy as the last one. That's exactly it's not the most important one. The most important ones is to understand what is the angle, what we're actually the angle is basically to understand what we're going to talk about in this ad, what kind of benefit we're going to feature, what kind of problem we're going to talk about that the client has. It's up to understand what we're going to go into. Then it's a creative, how we're going to show it. Hook is how we're going to pull the customers in, and headline is this text that you see under the creative, and then the ad copy as the last one that we're usually testing. And this is by going to these points step by step we were able to create at the end of the day, it's a high converting ad, and we have tested a lot of separate things in this ad. So if we can just jump on this next part, we can talk about what is an angle test and what it kind of entails.
Yeah, I think this is a huge thing right now. What's happening? We talked about it already. That your ad should be tested in the right way, so you can understand what works and what not works. We have so much data right now where we can trust, where we can really trust, and yeah, let's go through. So from this one, you can understand what's working and what not working for you, because right now we are living in a life where you need to create a lot of ads, and that's something, yeah, we but all the clients is like right now have been challenged to make more and more ads, and this is something huge. So let's jump
And
on that.
it's also it's another thing that I want to add is a lot of e-commerce like businesses or agencies. We were there as well, and when we created that, we just created ads. But afterwards, if they didn't work, we didn't test a particular thing. We just okay, this ad didn't work. Let's just create a new one. But with this system, it actually makes us test in each individual part to make sure that this ad is actually has tested. So then only then after we have tested we can say, okay, this one didn't work. Otherwise, you can quickly run through the ideas of the ads and you say, okay, ads doesn't work for me. It actually does. You just haven't tested each individual parts. But yeah, what is an angle? Angle, as I said in previously, when I talked, is angle is an idea that we kind of want to, that what we're going to talk about. Angle can be benefit focused. If your product solves some kind of like get a six pack in 6 months or 3 months, that this is a product that will give you that. So you talk about how this product actually makes you makes you kind of achieve that goal faster. Or if you have a problem, like what kind of problem can I mention? Um,
Like any
I can
problem, the same
like
about,
any problem.
yeah.
No, go on, go on. You had a, I think you had a
I'm
good
just telling it's like any problem. So it's the task on the side of your business is to find those problems what your product is solving, and that's why, yeah, it's a huge thing. And after that, you can test. In the last webinar, we talk a lot of about how to find those angles, how to find the problems, how to find the features. So I think it's not we don't need to talk right now about that. It's just you need to mention that a separate thing. It's an angle test. This is the one brick from which you make ad, and you need to understand how to does this angle doesn't work, or there is other reason why you didn't make money with that ad.
Yeah, so what we do is usually we have one angle we have an idea that we want to test. Let's say we can talk about this one specific problems. Like, uh, let's say I want to buy jeans that actually stretch, that doesn't like uh, make me like super tight, that I cannot move around, that I can actually sit and I can feel comfortable wearing. And the problem is uh, most of the jeans out there in the shop is super tight and I don't feel comfortable. That's a problem that people have. Now let's show this. Now let's create this idea and let's show this idea in like three different ways. We have basically three creatives where it shows how this idea is presented, and after like 3 days, 3 to 5 days, or depends on the ad spend, but after 3 days, we usually see, okay, which one of the creatives, which one of the ad actually worked the best. And then we kind of move towards the next part, which is a creative test. And here we understand uh, why this basically ad worked, why the other two didn't work. And then we just make we pull out all the working things on the creative that has worked, and put and create just new creatives based on this winning creative, and do three different creative tests again. And
Yeah,
in
so
example you can see as well, I think it's it's basically the same idea. It can be pictures, it can be videos, but you basically talk about the same thing. You just show it differently. Because as you can continue.
Yeah, there's two problems. One problem is to find the problem, and second problem is to find how to show that problem. Because we have so much ways to talk about those things. We have so much ways to show problems, to talk about the features, that we need to find that way how people see that, how people understand that. There has been like really basic ways how we show that this product is helping our clients to achieve bit better results. We talk about, I don't know, winning next tournament. If we talk about sports, or if we talk about something, we need to find that way how we show that problem, and that's a huge thing. What you need to start to learn doing daily, when you know, okay, my product or my service is solving, like, I don't know, 2 3 problems. Yeah, and then you are searching the ways how to through the creatives are making that. For me, like, huge platform where I can train and find my voice, as I call it, is the TikTok, where you are just trying to make content about basic ideas to explain it for the grandma. We tell it's a grandma test, and that I think is a huge thing for every brand. Uh, Start to explore how to make understandable creatives, and I think that's a huge, yeah, that's a huge gap right now, because we are switching to short form videos, and we need to find an from ad testing side, we can see that this video format is the best for optimization too. But we will talk about that forward. So let's jump on the hook test, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is a hook test? After you have tested the three separate videos that are delivering the same idea, same message, uh, you get one winning usually output, one winning ad, one winning creative. And here, what we think is usually the next part, the most important part, is to capture the first 3 seconds of attention of the people, and that's why we have a hook test, where we create three separate video beginnings for the first 3 seconds for this winning video, and it just helps us to better hook in the people, because now we have a super low attention span for all the videos that we have seen. Previously, like a year ago, we run the videos with 50 seconds, 40 seconds. Now we're trying to run videos 28 seconds max. Usually it's sometimes even 20, 16 seconds. It all depends on your product, on how it's easy to explain it, or the problem that it's solving and the benefits of it. But yeah, it's usually after the creative test, we're trying to test the first 3 seconds of the video. And I see a lot of people are not doing this, because this is the one of the most important part. You can have the best, you can have the best video, but if it's not hooking people in the first 3 seconds or grabbing their attention, no one is going to watch it, and therefore people won't go to your website and buy the product or look at your product.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Sometimes you have an amazing creative, but you don't have just a hook, and you are like throwing out the good creatives because they don't work. But let's remember the basics. Hook the like get attention, hook it, get to your story in, and then make some call to action. So from ad perspective, this first part of the hooking is the biggest thing to get to use your content. You are because as Janis mentioned, this attention spam is like it's very bad. Okay, let's go to the headlines one. It's the last one, yeah.
Yeah, this is after we have tested the hook, then we're only creating a headline test. And the headline is just under the video or the picture, where you have the shop now or learn more, or whatever the button you use, or order now. And right there we have basically a winning idea of the ad. We have a winning creative. You have a a good understanding of a video that what kind of hooks are hooking in the people. Now we just want to kind of create a headline that summarizes the thing that we're offering to the people. And we create three different versions of that is talking about the same thing. And we do the headline test. And all of these tests usually take like each test takes 1 to 3 days. Depends on the ad spend, but we usually to make it 100% sure it's 1 to 3 days, and we run these tests a lot of tests in one ad account. So it's not just testing one variable. You need to make sure that if we're testing an angle, then we're going to the creative test. It means that another idea already has started to test. It's not like we test only this one idea, one ad is going to this process. It's like always you need to have a flywheel and like a machine that is working. Always there is something that is testing, and you need to be one step in front of these tests. Like if this is doing a headline test, then another ad is doing already a hook test, and so on and so on and so on. That's how you only can scale, create good ads, and make sure that you always have some good ads to run.
Yeah, I think there is this culture right now. Like, you are one TikTok away from being famous. You are something one away from something, and this is something we see it's not working in the media buying part, because you are not one exact creative away from something. You are one test. Okay, not one test. It's like several tests away from something, because uh, it's not always about one perfect video which will make. I know how it makes a millions with the one creative. We have done it, and it could happen in 2017, but in 2022, it's like reality is in the testing. And we had a lot of situations where we launched some perfect ads. What we was thinking, this is the perfect ads, and we didn't have this testing system, and after 3 5 days this ad is not working, and we are creating again from zero some new perfect ad, and all the time playing this game where we are trying to make something perfect that works. But in reality there is this bricks to creating profitable ads, or making more money into the your e-commerce store, is from creating those tests and understanding in which test in which position you are. So yeah, to try to get out of the mind this idea that you are one ad away from making six figures. It's not one ad away. You are There is several tests you need to do to get the understanding um, how to get more profitable ads, I think.
It's more like it's more to you need to have one winning way on how to one winning like angle away. You're basically one winning angle away from this, and it's the way the thing that we're talking about, the ad, and it doesn't mean one ad. It's this is the idea, and it means that we need to have at least like 5 different ways on how we're telling this idea, because a lot of people are getting this information or consuming this information in a different way, and we just want to make sure that we're explaining the same idea in different ways to multiple people. And yeah, the algorithm usually does the rest.
Yeah, so go through those tests and not hope on one Christmas gift which will make you happy. So and the
The
next
next
thing
one.
after the creatives, the next thing is what you do with those creatives.
Yeah, how do you actually read data? What is the most important part? Since all of this iOS 14 and all that stuff, we see that Facebook data is usually incorrect in terms of not Facebook data, but the data that comes from the website to Facebook is really incorrect. So what we're doing, we're actually relying more on in-platform data that you have like 100% of precise data, and it starts with 3 second attention rates. We call it the thumbs up rate test, where we're that's exactly what we're doing. We're measuring what is the attention of the first 3 seconds of the video, Anything below 20% is bad. Everything above 20% is that's kind of okay. You want to be at like at least 30% of 2% of thumbs up rate for your ads to actually for them to watch the ad until the end.
Maybe Yanis, you can somehow add stick together with those tests. So 3 second video attention rate, what it how much it should be, and what it shows us as media buyers.
Yeah, it well, like I said, the 30-second video, the 3 seconds video test, it should be at least 20%, above 20%. And if it's not 20%, means that we need to change our first 3 seconds again. It's not hooking up. It's not enough good of attention grabbing video or picture or whatever we're having, or thumbnail that we have in the video, and we need to change that, or just yeah, usually just changing that. And after that is the 50-second video attention rate. How many people actually watch the 50 seconds of the video? It's a huge drop off from the 3 seconds. But if you're above 5%, that's really good, because mostly you're gonna show the video to the same people like multiple times before sometimes they even click, and that's how they at the end of the day they watch it until the end. But the first time it needs to be at least 5%, and in this case we have 9%. And what it shows, to if Gustav is asking this question, uh, basically after everything after 3 seconds, if you have everything below 5 seconds, if you have 5% below 5%, then you need to change the video. What the next message on how it's explaining the problem, how it's showing the benefits. You need to think about a way on how to explain this better in the video.
Yeah, great. I see that you are seeing the future, and yeah, it should. This in platform data is something huge. Why videos is why we are happy as marketers that video is booming more and more, because you don't need to rely right now on the data which is out of the meta. You can see on the data which is in the meta, and you can understand exactly in which moment your video, your idea is not working. And this is like two huge things. What we have seen, there's a lot of marketers which doesn't optimize by those numbers. They see different numbers which is not working anymore, because there is a lot of data not coming in the Facebook in the time in the meta. So yeah.
And also, I wanted to add a note on the videos. Why videos? It's because you can actually get information from the videos on how many people have watched the video, how many people have seen the 3 seconds, 15 seconds, all the rest of the video. You cannot get this information when you're advertising just a picture. We don't see the data, and that's the good thing, that we can create these videos, so we have a retargeting audience. We can build a lookalike audience on that if we need to, and pictures doesn't give you that.
I think that's a small hack how to get in front of those data problems you have out of the meta. So
Yeah,
let's
also
talk.
another one. I wanted to, sorry for Gustav, but just this is another point. We recently actually tested this, and video audiences are most converting audiences when we're retargeting something. Because when you have a website visitors in retargeting, usually you see that on your website you have on the month, let's say 10K, 20K visitors. But when you check on the pixel and you create the audience of, hey, create an audience of all the website visitors, it shows just 4, maybe 5. And you have a huge drop off in the data. But on video, every 3 second video watch. We have the numbers, and that's how we can really retarget all the people that have actually seen the ad, and thus you're not wasting money. You actually are showing to the people that have seen your ad, and that's a good retargeting campaign to have, to show ads to the right people that actually have encountered the ads. So that's another hack.
I think if
That's
you
right.
will take, I think, Jan, sorry, I think if you will take these two things from this webinar, you will upgrade your ad optimization like in the skies. Because just think about data and from where you are taking it and how accurate it there, because there is right now a lot of data in Meta which is really wrong, and if you are turning it on or off some ad sets, ads, campaigns based on data which is in the Meta, it's sometimes wrong decision. And yeah, I think in the marketing and e-commerce this is big question: what decisions you are making and what focus you are putting on. So put focus on the right things, and not on and not make those decisions from data which is not right.
Yeah, it's a long part, a long time to get to the third point, but I think this is a very good value that you just gave. So the third point is a unique outbound click-through rate. And what does this mean? It's measuring how many unique people of 100, how many percent of 100 people that seen your ad actually are going to your website. And I understand that industry average is about 1%. Sometimes people are making scaling ads with 1.2%, 1.5%. We kind of are setting for ourselves a higher target. We have a higher normal, and for us, it's our ads need to be at least 2%. And in this case, you can see the ads that are in this ad set are doing almost 3% of click through rate. It's mean like 3% of people who have seen the ad of how out of 100 people are going to the website, and that's pretty good. That's really good. And this really needs to be all the time at 2% minimum. You can look at 1.8%, but it's really hard to scale with lower than 2%. You're gonna run out of ads quickly.
Yeah, there is one way how to run ads with the lower uh, this click-through rate. I think if you have a lot of profit on the product and you can pay a lot of money for visits, then it's, yeah, you can scale with the zero point 0.5, but it's some way how Facebook or Meta is showing you that you are making a bad ads and you are doing the bad business in their platform. So just look on those videos. But there's one thing: don't look after the Google information, because in the Google there's zero point 0.9 in Europe is good click-through rate, but we see that in this zero point 0.9 you have some clicks over 30-50 cents, and that's a huge price. So yeah, you need to make a lot of money on the first sale to get this back, or your lifetime value should be huge, so you can get back. But that's the way how Meta is telling you you are doing the good or bad ads. That's I would suggest to look on that.
Yeah. The next part is the unique visitors. It's the same. All of this data, by the way, is in-platform data, so it's correct. Instead of looking at what is your link clicks uh, on your this ad account metrics, look at what is your unique outbound clicks. What does it mean? It means how many people are leaving the platform, not how many people are clicking the website. When it's link clicks, it's directly to your, it's a pixel to your website, but this shows how many people just left Facebook to your website. And it's the same thing, but just way more accurate. And yeah, the fifth part is ROS, which is the most important part. We're not really measuring ROS in our Facebook. We just like to have it just to look at it if it's good, but we usually are measuring this in Other part, we're looking at what is the blended or overall ROAS, what is the spend of the ads on Google, Facebook, TikTok, versus what is the revenue that we have generated per day.
Yes, that's a huge thing. Don't look in the meta for that data. This is sometimes we had just raised the budgets for the clients because we showed it. Uh, there we had one interesting call. I think Jens, you told me with one Google agency, and they told us Google is the only way to go. Organic Google searches, everything that works. And then we told like we was talking about this topic and like um, if you're a brand which is growing, which want to get from 30 to 100,000 euros, and you don't have a product which have real place in the market where is already the need, and you are just covering that need, the Google ad doesn't work for you as a scale. It's worked for like a remarketing platform. So always see how much you are spending on this Facebook and see this with the overall revenue and not look only on the in-platform data for ROAS because you will not have it precise. So just look on those numbers and understand when you will drop down the budget of the Meta, your Google return will drop down too because Google is take like Google and Meta, they are different businesses and they are trying to take conversions on themselves. So you spend more money on their platform. So just look on the overall data and you will see a better understanding where should be invested more money, not only on the in-platform data.
Correct.
Correct. Ad campaign
Ad
scaling.
campaigns.
When you have something working, how to scale it, Yanis? How to make more because that's a huge thing when something is working, you think that it's easy to spend money on that, but that's not the truth.
Yeah, I think one of the most important part to scale is we need we need it to be easy to scale. We need to have a system or like structure in the campaigns that is easy to scale, easy understandable. And what we're doing is we're using only one campaign, which is a CBO campaign or campaign, or now it's actually they changed the name. It's not campaign budget optimization. It's advantage campaign optimization. Facebook is telling you this is advantage now. Take this advantage to operate, not operate, but to use this advantage campaign. So it's just going to give you more advantages, better results. And we have one campaign with broad targeting. We don't use any interest, lookalikes, all that stuff. We just completely broad. It's what the only thing that we're mentioning is um, gender. If the product is, of course, for men or women, if it's for both, then we let it broad, and also the age range. That's and country, of course, the target country. And but mostly it's without any target specific targeting, no lookalikes, no interests. And Facebook has been taking interests away since last year, and about already 60% of previous years interests that were available to us are already gone, and it's already messaging us, hey, create better ads, create ads that are actually speaking about to the customer. Let the ads be the targeting, and that is what is our ads is the targeting. That's
Yeah.
why we're making these ads, and yeah, you can just can add some things.
Yeah, we had some interesting conversation because when somebody is telling me go broad, for me it's like bullshit. Uh, but we had so much tests and we had a huge conversations with the Yanis with other agencies and I think we mentioned that in the previous webinar too. But ads is your new targeting. Ads is creating this targeting, and Meta has amazing pixel there, amazing tool. What is
Algorithms.
really smart? It's like TikTok has the same. Yeah, they have a pixel, but that's a young system. The system is not power enough to find really fast your target audience. But for the Meta, It's that pixel is like the huge machine which has run it already for several years, and they will find your target audience faster than you if you will create the ad which talks with your target audience. So that's why it's broad targeting finally is working when you create the ads which is meant for your target audience. And I think that's like we are not talking right now to something we have seen somewhere or seen some YouTube videos. We had really tested really narrow targeting with a broad targeting for the product which is made for really narrow target. This case study we talking in the start, it was for really narrow product for narrow audience. They had, I think, in America something like 1.5 million customers. So for US it's like a really small audience, and they had a broad targeting, and that worked like amazing. So ads is your new targeting. Just think about that. Few days, walk through the park and talk with yourself. That's the truth. What finally is happening.
Yeah, and you need to have broad targeting, like one campaign, broad targeting, at least three ads that are getting new purchases before, or that have come out of tests. Three working ads, put them in one campaign all the time. Don't have your testing campaign as a scaling campaign. Your scaling campaign is one campaign, and in that campaign we have only good working ads. Facebook knows this because okay, this is the new ad that just came in. It probably has been tested. It has proven it can scale, and that's what we do. We put in the only working ads, and then we increase just the budget. We see, hey, what is going on? Every 24 to 48 hours, we check and we increase the budget. So like from 20% to 100%. Sometimes we double up. Sometimes if there's a case, we can double up it like 2 times a day. But yeah, that's how it usually works. Um, I think this is it in this part.
Yeah. So the first one is creating the ads. Second one is optimizing those ads, and third one is scaling those ads. That's the thing we got through today. So key takeaways from today. I hope it was valuable for you. Drop some comments and likes so we can see that. Um, Understand what kind of problems your product solves and what benefit it provides. That's the first thing, to start creating some ads which talk with your target audience, so you can help to the meta find your target audience, because your creatives will make targeting. Learn how to deliver the message so your grandma understand, and that's a huge thing. You just start to learn it, how to tell about your specific and hard product easy. So yeah, there is this dinner table test too. So can you talk? Can you sit with your family near in the like eating some dinner and explain what uh, what your product is doing, or what problems they are solving, what benefits they are providing? So that's a huge
In
thing.
one two sentences.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
yeah, that's a really hard thing, and then understand how to put in that in the video ads, because that's the way how people are using the content right now. They're watching the short videos and getting dopamine, and everything is good for them. So learn how to use it. Create a manageable campaign structure. This is something we showed. Measure what matters. So that's the last thing. Yeah, Jan, maybe you want to add something for this.
Yeah, and the campaign structure, you don't need a lot. You just need to have three campaigns or maybe even two. Sometimes we don't use retargeting. Sometimes we use, depends on the market that you're in. But yeah, easy manageable. It's just one campaign for testing, one campaign for scaling, one campaign for retargeting. Measure what matters, like previously we told. Look at input from data. That's the most precise, and make your decisions based on that data. Don't look at what is a website sending to the Facebook pixel, because it's the data comes in like sometimes in 5 days, 6 days. So you don't want to be waiting for 6 days to make a decision. If you can make it way faster, just looking on platform data.
Yeah. So if you have any questions or you want to get answers on them, drop us some question on the agency account on our personal accounts. I'm still apologize. I'm running my personal account in Latvian, but we will switch to the English. I hope soon. And yeah, we will drop webinars like this every week. We will try to give us the more value we can, because we see what's happening in the market. We are running it several tens of thousands euros in ad spends and making like a good money for our clients. And if you want to work with us, just go to our homepage, book some call, and we will jump on the call, understand if we can help you, because we have a huge this onboarding process where we are not letting the guys in where we can help, because that has been a huge challenge for us, because all this starting period for us is really costing us a lot of money, a lot of time from our team. We have a really big team which helps scale and make more money in e-commerce. I hope that was this was valuable and you find something for you. So yeah, if you haven't got to this 30,000 in a month, uh, use our webinars, use our content, get there. And if you have gotten to this 30,000 in the month, then this is the place where agencies can help you. So don't take huge, big, expensive agencies till this 30,000 euros, uh, or 25 or 35. It's like doesn't matter those few thousands, but get this product market fit by yourself. Then find the agency which can do the good work for you to scale the ads, scale content creation, scale all those things which really matters. That's the only thing I think today. That's the only thing, but that's a thing what matters when you have made the basics great. Then you just need to make more ads and scale them properly. Uh, yeah, yeah, and just add some last words, and let's say goodbye to everyone. Thank you for being there. Next week we will make a webinar about. We will talk about why our ads is over performing better than your ads which you are running right now. So there will be a lot of insightful information what could be upgraded in your ads too. So I hope this will be valuable too.
Yeah, for my part, is one thing I think I can give you guys is just make decisions on the right data. Don't rely yourself on other data, and be make sure that you're actually making your decisions on data. Don't make your decisions on emotions. This ad is not good. That ad is not good. This one is good. Let the data tell you what is good and what is not good. And yeah, let's grow. Continue to grow and use agencies only when you're at a place where your basics are covered and an agency can actually help you, not make things more complicated.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Drop your feeling out of the window and see the real data. Thank you, Yanis, for being today. Our inside
Thank you.
mission is to make ecom great. So yeah, finish on this. Let's make ecom great, and see you next week. Bye.